Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of 5 Questions with the Paulist Fathers. Today, I have the real treat of hosting my dear friend, Father Frank DeSiano, who's joining us. Father Frank hired me, actually, back in the day when we started then Paulist Young Adult Ministries, which eventually became Busted Halo. He's an expert in evangelization, and he's the president of Paulist Evangelization Ministries. So, Father Frank, thanks for joining us.
No, thank you, Mike. Appreciate the invitation.
Yeah. Hey, question one. What's one word that would describe the emotional state of Washington, D.C. right now?
Frazzled. Between the election, between the pandemic, between things that are clear and unclear, you're always trying to figure out what the status is, what's the next issue you're going to deal with. So we're mentally frazzled.
Yeah, I can imagine. And as an American community of priests, the Paulists, what would you say are your thoughts on being a Paulist in America right now?
Yeah, I think there's a way in which to be a Paulist is also to believe in America and to believe in the ideals of America. And I think that that's something that is part of our evangelization vision, that in spite of the temptation to be cynical or to kind of throw in the towel, or really the biggest temptation is to circle the wagons and pretend that there's not a society that we have to deal with. I think to believe in the vision of our country and to see that in the vision of the kingdom of God and to be committed to that as a preacher is both an opportunity and a challenge today.
Yeah. So question three, what have you been reading or watching that you'd recommend at this point in time?
Well, this summer I watched on PBS, and you can just Google it and get it, a series, 4-part series on Reconstruction.
Oh, wow.
And this was a part of our history that I really hadn't spent a lot of time doing. I like to walk to the Lincoln Monument and kind of stand there. But like post-Lincoln and how things really got messed up and left a legacy that we're still trying to repair today. And the other thing I'm reading is Waiting for an Echo. It's by a psychiatrist who works in prisons. And it's about how prisons are having to do a lot of mental health, and they're the worst place to do that.
Yeah, right.
And most of prison is dealing with our inability to actually address the mental health issues of our country. So that's a very stimulating book, and I hope to put some stuff out in our prison ministry about that.
Yeah, we should send that to Deacon Dennis Dolan, who we talked to on this program. We talked a lot about mental health stuff in prisons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So question four, throughout this pandemic, what's been your favorite comfort food?
Well, I don't know if there's been a favorite comfort food. I think kind of trying to keep up with the news and then watching a little bit of Colbert at night, kind of putting that in there. My big comfort distraction, should I apologize for it, is to watch the golf tournaments that kind of start on Thursday and end on Sunday. So usually in the late afternoons, I'm mellowing out a little bit and trying to see if some of my favorite golfers are going to win or not. So that's my big comfort distraction.
Yeah, okay, great. And then finally, question five. You guys have been through a rough time. I mean, you lost Father Rich Colgan earlier in the year to COVID, and then a bunch of you came down with the virus yourself. What's really been your prayer like during this time? Not only personally, but as the superior of the DC Paulist community.
Yeah, so I think that when I look back at those days, and it was a way in which March, April, the early days of May, we knew that everything was around us, but we're very careful about Rich, and we knew that he had a weakened immune system from the treatments he had already begun. And so he was kind of like a big focus in our community. How do we care for him? What kind of future care would he need? How do we keep him safe? And then when finally COVID entered the house, and it's still hard to know how that happened, I think our prayer was really what held us together, because we had to begin praying in common through Zoom, and to see each other in these little squares, and then to spend the time after morning prayer and evening prayer, just kind of how are we doing, checking up on the guys who are sick, trying to answer the questions and trying to make our way through this. And then, of course, in the final week of Rich's life, prayer really held us together. And we were hoping for the miracle with a capital M. We probably got a miracle with a small m in terms of Rich's ongoing and abiding presence with us. But his life and his death organized us, but prayer really helped pull us together during that period.
Yeah, it was a sad time for sure, but a time I think you guys really came together as a community, and thanks for your leadership during that time too. I think it was
Well,
real
thank the Holy
important.
Spirit, because none of us really knew what we were doing. We were just trying to figure out what's the next thing. The latest news thing contradicted what they said the day before, so it was really very, very tiring.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, Father Frank, this has been a great 5 questions. I'm glad that you were able to join us. Thanks for hiring me so many years ago. It really helped change my life and my ministry.
Yes.
And maybe we'll do it again sometime.
All right. God bless you in the next chapter. Take care.
All right. Thanks. This has been another episode of 5 Questions with the Paulist Fathers. I'm Mike Hayes. He's Father Frank DeSiano, and we'll see you all soon.